Welcome back to NR Recaps. Today I will explain drama romance movie Wifelike in the year 2022. Before starting the film, make sure to subscribe and prefer this video. The movie begins with a employer named Wifelike. This company manufactures robotics wife. Those robots are designed to do all the housekeeping and do something that a everyday human spouse can do. Those robots can make dinner and do all those fabric matters every man wants. Those robots had been designed so correctly that nobody could differentiate between robots and people. There has been yet another unique feature wherein absolutely everyone could put the recollections in their useless spouse, and a robotic would behave like a lifeless man or woman. And because of a lot of these traits, hundreds of humans had been using these robots daily. Those robots had been so realistic that there were some companies they demanded that robots be handled equally to humans and get all the rights. On the alternative facet, there has been some other business enterprise. Their cause was to kidnap the robots and provide them freedom, and the primary corporation that used to kidnap the robotic became named Scare. It's why the Wifelike employer has employed a few humans with a view to convey lower back the robot to them. We see a person named William. He is one of the marketers for the organization who brings back stolen robots, and he's very good at his work. After some time, the proprietor of the organization named Marion receives glad with William's work and tells him that he ought to not be concerned about his spouse because the agency has made a brand new robotic wife for him with the recollections of his useless wife, and he's going to love him like his wife Meredith. Later he brings her home and activates her after dressing her in his wife's old garments. After that, the robot was a touch stressed and she called herself Meredith in preference to her nickname. However, William's guides are about taking walks, dozing and lots of other matters. William become hopeful that Meredith might slowly analyze the whole lot and begins behaving like his spouse, and no one will ever understand that she is a robotic. At night time, William changed into equipped to get intimate with Meredith. Meanwhile, he become a touch hesitant even after all of the settings. At that point, Meredith takes control of the state of affairs and guides William on a way to do matters. Ultimately they get intimate and William desires to spend the whole night with her. However, she could not do that because she had to price herself inside the different room. When Meredith is going to the alternative room, she finds a hairbrush and a diary of a real human Meredith. After some time she appears out of doors the window and sees a few weird matters. She couldn't apprehend what those matters have been, and that's why she neglected it. Tomorrow Meredith is getting ready breakfast for William, and at the time William is watching television, some people are protesting. And at that second Meredith asks William approximately his activity. William replies that he's an agent and works for humans as safety. After a few time William leaves for workplace. Meredith dries and make up a brand new and vintage clothes on herself, the alternative hand in the corporation. William talked to his accomplice Jack approximately the current kidnapping of a few robots. They begin checking for brand spanking new updates about the leader of the Scare company. After looking for some time, they observed where all of the robots have been saved after the kidnapping. After that, William receives instructions to convey returned all of the robots from that place to the Enterprise. Later, while William is going to the location, he sees that one of the robots is making an attempt to get away and there is a shock collar in her neck. William turns at the shock collar and removes the surprising collar from the robot's neck. Then he asks her how many human beings are inside. After that he went in the residence, and inside the first room he saw a criminal training boxing. William without difficulty tackled a criminal and began walking towards the second room, a lab. William see that a robotic is being reprogrammed and ready to be freed. At the time a criminal comes within the room pointing a gun at a robot. William needs him, or even after that once he doesn't listen, William shoots him down. Alternatively, Meredith lays down on her charging chair to rate herself and her dream mode is activated. In her dream she meets a person named Edo who will guide her in her dream mode. In her first dream, Meredith is at a birthday celebration where she meets William and he asks her to dance. After that, any other robot spouse asks Meredith to dance and then tells her to meet a person with the masks. After that, Meredith asks the masked man who he's, and he replies with the purple chook card and says that she can do not forget the whole lot with the assist of this card. And when Meredith is about to ask him another question, he leaves at the different hand. William brings all of the android wives again to the agency in which they may reprogram them. After that, in the ready room there have been android robots. Ali and Lily behaved strangely and that irritates William. At that second he finds out those robots aren't acting properly and going in opposition to their husbands, and that's why they are brought over and over to reprogram. The following day Meredith once more is going to her dream mode and then asks Ito approximately the masked guy and to make a listing of her pastimes and supply it to her. Ito offers her a listing of horror hobbies, and while she would not see the hobby of stitching, she receives amaze due to the fact on account that she turned into conscious from her dream she wanted to do some sewing, and that is why Ito hooked up a stitching document in her memory. While Meredith is out of her napping mode, she starts a evolved sewing a pillow and make air at hen, which became on the cardboard. After that she is going out biking. Halfway she sees Lucy's status, and even as saving her she crashes into the timber. At that moment Lucy tells her that she has very little time left, so she has to do not forget the entirety rapid, and then Lucy left. After that, after Meredith comes domestic, she tells the whole lot to William. Even as cleaning Meredith's garments he replies that he shouldn't listen to Lucy due to the fact some ladies hate robots because they consider robots are stealing their husbands from them. After that Meredith goes to the lake, real Meredith favored location. While remembering her memories she feels so glad and calls herself through her nickname for the primary time, which means that she has commenced to recognize herself. After completing the sewing of the pillow, Meredith gives it to William. He replies that she has made a lovely pillow, however it looks like he's mendacity. In the meantime William tries to make her don't forget once they met for the first time Meredith turned into sitting on a bench studying a book. At the equal time Meredith sees the same incident in her memory, but she couldn't see the face of that man along with her. Later when Meredith goes to the charging room and lays down on the charging sofa, she started analyzing the diary of real Meredith. She has written about her love and the way satisfied she is upon getting her love of existence. Meredith receives emotional after reading the diary. To understand more about real Meredith, the robotic tries to activate the self-exploration mode, however she changed into unable to show on that mode. After that she turns on the dream mode. Ito become careworn due to the fact some of Meredith's memory documents have been locked. After that Meredith instructed him to expose her all her reminiscence documents. Ito suggests her all of the documents and Meredith selects a random record. Ito takes her to that reminiscence and she unearths herself sitting on a bench. But the person together with her isn't William, he is the identical masked guy. He holds her and tells her that the whole thing started out from there. At that time Meredith comes out of her dream and sees that William is keeping her. He tells her that she had a nightmare. After a while, whilst Meredith is going to bed, William throws that red bird pillow into the trash. After that William goes to sleep, wakes up and starts a evolved reading the diary. Moreover she watches her films as well in a single video. Meredith is in a tent with her lover. The next day William gets a new undertaking in which he has to deliver returned abducted robot. He immediately goes to a building. Meanwhile the robotic changed into operating as a secretary. She has changed her call and confronted alive like a human while William talks to her. She says no person has abducted her and runs far from the agency. On my own William idea she were reprogrammed. It truly is why she said that. William tells her to go together with him. She replies that she would choose death instead of going with him. With that she jumps out of the window and dies. Alternatively Meredith sees Lucy has sneaked into her house. Lucy receives happy while she sees that Meredith is asking herself together with her nickname. Lucy tells her that the masked man needs to fulfill her. In my view she in addition says William has lied to her approximately the Scar Enterprise. Meanwhile Lucy knew that Meredith turned into recording the whole lot, so she left a message for William. Lucy tells William that Ken wants to meet him once more. After that Lucy left. Later William brings return the broken robotic to the corporation due to the fact it really is his process, but he turned into involved about why this robot wife suicide. On the same time William sees an advert for robotic children in the air. They were saying that these robots are kids will in no way develop up. William's mood receives worse after for the reason that he instantly is going to speak to Marion. William asks him about the behavior of robots and why they behave surprisingly. Marion defined to him that it is probably because of their programming, that's why she did that, but he need to now not be involved at home. Meredith become reading the diary of the actual Meredith. She study approximately the tale whilst Meredith desired to run away with her lover. After that Meredith starts a evolved sewing a brand new pillow with the red chicken. While William comes home he receives irritated while he sees Meredith sewing the red hen again. At that moment Meredith tells him the entirety about Lucy and offers him her message. William starts a evolved behaving surprisingly after listening to that, so he calls Jack for assist. William tells him that he tried hard to stop Meredith from Keen, but they have hacked her desires wherever she goes to dream mode. They connect to her. William tells Jack that he ought to locate Keen's vicinity. They are able to do it via going to Meredith. Goals and his PC abilities are required. He in addition says that Meredith can experience her dreams in real life, so if she gets hurt in her dream she'll feel the ache in actual existence. After that, Jack starts locating Keen and sends Meredith into a dream mode. Edo chooses a Halloween topic for her dream. After that, Meredith finds herself carrying a skeleton, get dressed and enter a ghost house. After a second, a masked man comes in the front of her. Jack and William also are looking Meredith dream on their laptop while masked guys gets rid of his masks. They discover he's eager. In the meantime, Keen offers an address to Meredith and tells her to meet him there. Whilst Meredith wakes up from her dream, she asks William approximately Keen and he would not inform her something later. William is going to trap Keen at that address. Whilst he reaches there, he simplest reveals a dummy carrying a mask. William immediately comes back domestic. He sees that Meredith is safe. At that moment, Meredith tells him that a person knocked at the door, and when she opened the door there was no one out of doors. She handiest were given a diary on which it became written for William. Meredith again to ask William about what turned into happening. William replies that Keen changed into the usage of his wife Meredith for terrorist sports, and that's why he removed those memories from her mind in order that she would not blame herself for the demise of hundreds of people. After that, Jack calls William and tells him that Keen has hacked Meredith. He's spying on all of their movements so they can't trap them. William replies that they need to reprogram Meredith, and for that they will need to organization, but earlier than they try this he desires to speak to Keen. Furthermore, Jack connects William and Meredith to the dream mood. In the meantime, Meredith's battery was deficient, so William advised her as soon as her battery reached 10% she ought to pop out of the dream, and whilst she wakes up William will awaken as properly. After that, once Meredith goes to her dream, she says that she is in a woodland. She sees Keen, and after a while William also comes there. William tells Meredith to run. She begins walking to get to the celebration. William and Keen start preventing, and after a while, even as fighting, they get to the stop of the party wherein Meredith is gift at the birthday celebration. Keen tells Meredith to recollect our memories, and he additionally tells William that it doesn't rely how plenty you attempt, she will be able to. Don't forget her past one day. At that moment, whilst William is set to kill Keen, Meredith's battery is going all the way down to 10%, and that's why she wakes up from the dream with her. William additionally comes out of the dream. William became indignant because he changed into about to kill Keen. However, Jack changed into indignant at him because William told him that he would just speak to Keen. Jack tells William that he will never help him again, and then he leaves. After that, William tells Meredith that he have to reprogram her memory and she or he will research the whole lot from the start. However, Meredith disagrees with him, telling him now not to eliminate her recollections. William does not concentrate to her and sends her to the corporation with the intention to reprogram her in the agency's waiting room. All the robots welcomed Meredith as if they knew her. At that moment, Allie and Lily inform her that they know a way to keep their memories from being eliminated, and that is how they might recognize her. She similarly says that all of the robots percentage information secretly so that they can assist the ringleader in destroying the corporation. Allie says that the ringmaster is no longer a terrible character, he helps all the robots in dwelling an unfastened and excellent life here. Meredith unearths out that Allie and Lily arrest himself with the intention to come to the business enterprise and convey extra robots into their venture. Allie tells her that people can do away with their memories, but they can in no way do away with their desires. In the meantime, all of the robots laid down and begin sharing their statistics. Meredith is going into dream mode. She tells Indo to store her recollections into a random record later, while the operator takes her to reset simultaneously. Lucy is going to Jack's residence with an crucial report in USB. She provide the USB to his android wife and tell her to provide it to Jack as quickly as Jack comes domestic. His wife gives him the important document and that USB drive. On the alternative hand, after a few hours, Meredith wakes up along with her new memories in front of William. She sees a detective in her recollections and can't recognize it. She recollects all the matters that she learned, but she pretends as though she has been reset. William time and again tries to tell her all the phrases so she will be able to understand and do not forget them. In the meantime, Jack involves his residence with the record. At that second, Williams dispatched Meredith in her room. Jack tells William that he knows that Meredith become in no way his spouse, and Could is the only who killed Meredith's husband Eager, and this is why they couldn't locate him due to the fact he turned into simplest In Meredith's recollections at that point, Jack attempts to arrest William for the homicide of Keen, whilst William takes out his gun, shoots Jack and kills him. Meanwhile, Meredith turned into looking all of this. She tells him that she already is aware of the entirety. She tells him that when for the first time Meredith came to his house to promote our campaign, when you consider that then William were after her. William wanted to get married at any price, so he used to stalk her. One day whilst he found the possibility, he kidnapped both of them. He informed every person that Meredith was a abducted android and Keen was keeping her hostage. William had put a shock collar in Meredith's neck in order that humans may want to accept as true with him. This is how he killed Keen and taken Meredith with him. Meredith tells William that all the reminiscences within the diary belong to Keen. While William introduced Meredith home, he wanted her to be a good spouse, but she hated him and in no way agreed to do whatever it truly is. Why sooner or later he killed her with the purple hand pillow and put a ring on her finger so that everybody might don't forget her his wife. After Meredith's demise, while he made an android of Meredith, he most effective decided on those correct reminiscences. While William hears all this from the robotic Meredith, he gets scared that how does she know all of this. At that moment William says that he attempted his exceptional to give her a very good life in which she could in no way get old and she would get his unconditional love all the time. At the same time as Meredith doesn't listen to him because she desires to take revenge of actual Marinette and her husband. That is why she amassed all her electricity and attacked William. At that moment Meredith tells him that she is the ringmaster. She gathers all of the robots and he or she is the person who used to wear the masks of Eager and comes to her desires. She simply wanted to document all of the facts, so she acted as if she didn't know anything. At that second Meredith sits on pinnacle of William by way of breaking her essential component, after which she breaks his hands. She kills him with the red foul pillow. At the same time as remembering Eager and Meredith, she takes out her ring and then leaves. Later Meredith goes to enroll in her sister within the Scare business enterprise. She then promises all the robots that they will in no way be reset again. On the alternative hand, in the organization, Marion talks about his pricey agent William's loss of life in a television broadcast. He guarantees everyone he's going to trap the killers of William and he gives all the responsibility to William's android. Whilst he says that be equipped, he's approaching the alternative aspect. Meredith is looking him at the TV and she says come quickly, they may be prepared for him. With that the film ends right here. Thank you for watching the video.